Friday night. You survived another week. You tell yourself, I earned this. So you order takeout. You binge Netflix. You scroll until your eyes burn. You call it relaxing. But Monday comes and you feel even more exhausted than you did on Friday. Here is the brutal truth. Your weekends aren't recharging you. They are erasing you. Most people treat their weekend like a hospital room where they recover just enough to go back to the war on Monday. But the top 1%, they don't rest on weekends. They build. And the gap between you and them isn't talent. It's what you do in the 48 hours when nobody is watching. Meet David, 29 years old. He makes $62,000 a year, hates his alarm clock, and lives for the weekend. David isn't lazy. Monday through Friday, he is a soldier. He answers emails, sits in pointless meetings, and nods at a boss he doesn't respect. But Friday at 5 p.m., that's his escape. He disconnects. He numbs his brain with dopamine, video games, alcohol, social media. He tells himself, I'm decompressing. But in reality, David is spending his only free time building a prison. For 6 years, David has done this loop. That is over 600 weekends, over 1,200 days of total freedom. And what does he have to show for it? Zero extra income, zero new skills, and a quiet panic that his life is slipping away. One Sunday evening, the illusion cracked. David saw a post from his cousin, Maya. She was 24, 5 years younger than him. She had just quit her job to run her own branding agency full-time. David was confused. Maya used to work the same 9-to-5 grind. He texted her, "How did you do it?" Her reply was 3 sentences that changed his life. David, I didn't go to brunch. I didn't watch the game. I used my weekends to build a door out of the cage. David felt a sting in his chest. He sat down and did the math. Maya spent 4 hours every Saturday and Sunday learning a skill. That's 8 hours a week. In 2 years, that is 832 hours. David had wasted 832 hours on entertainment he couldn't even remember. Maya had invested 832 hours to buy her freedom. The difference wasn't luck, it was math. David realized he had been making a fatal mistake. As an old wise man once said, imagine 2 men with 2 gardens. The first man works all week, and on the weekend, he sits in a chair and stares at the sky. He says he is resting, but while he rests, the weeds grow. The second man works all week, but on Saturday morning, he spends just 4 hours pulling weeds and planting seeds. After a year, the first man has a jungle of thorns. The second man has a harvest that feeds him for life. David looked at his life. He had a garden of thorns. He was using his free time to forget his problems instead of solving them. The next Saturday, David didn't sleep in. He woke up at 7 a.m. His brain screamed for dopamine. His friends invited him for drinks. The old David would have said yes. The new David said no. He sat down and started learning digital marketing. The first month was brutal. He felt lonely. He felt boring. But slowly, the seeds began to grow. Month 3, he got his first client, $500. Month 8, 3 clients, $2,000 a month. He was still working his 9-to-5, but he wasn't scared of it anymore. He no longer needed the job. He was just using the job to fund his dream. 18 months later, David walked into his manager's office. He didn't ask for a raise. He didn't complain about the workload. He simply handed in a letter. His boss looked shocked. But David, the economy is bad. You need this security. What are you going to do?" David smiled, a smile of total, unshakable peace. "I'm not going to do anything, sir. I'm going to harvest my garden." He walked out of the building into the sunlight. Monday morning no longer owned him. My friends, your weekend is the most valuable real estate you own. It is the only capital you have to buy your freedom. If you spend it on entertainment, you are a consumer. If you spend it on building, you are an owner. Stop using your 2 days of liberty to fund a lifetime of captivity. So I have to ask you, what is growing in your garden this weekend? Are you planting seeds of freedom, or are you watching the weeds take over? Tonight, don't look for an escape, look for a way out.